ain't letting her perish aboard the Titanic because there was no lifeline for our ancestors. Again, hit that like button, share and subscribe, and don't forget our ancestors who died on the Titanic. Black Titanic. Recently, November the 5th, the beginning of November now, there was a reparation rally where hundreds and hundreds of grassroots people showed up at the rally. So this reparation is being serious. It's something serious, you guys. But let's just take a look at the Homestead Act. Now, the Homestead Act was reparation for Europeans, but let's just look at what it was. The Homestead Act enacted during the Civil War in 1862. Now, this Homestead Act, the Civil War, our ancestors helped won the Civil War. It provided that any adult citizen or intended citizen who have never borne arms against the U.S. government could claim 160 acres of surveyed government land that the government has stolen from our ancestors and given to Europeans, which they have accumulated generational wealth off of this stolen land. And then they look at us, Black people, and say, well, why can't you just pull yourself up by your bootstring? Anyway, 160 acres of land was given. Claimants were required to live on and improve their plot by cultivating the land. So all these immigrants come flooded in here and got all these acres of land that they have passed down to their children. Now, if you ask these very, very, very wealthy children today, they will trace their wealth right back there to that reparation, to the Homestead Act. That's how they got started. Let's listen at Martin Luther King.
Time that America refused to give the Negro any land. Through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. And this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Yeah, you heard them. When we're going to Washington, we're coming to get our check. Now, see, nobody talks about that Martin Luther King. They want to talk about the earlier Martin Luther King. Now, Martin Luther King, they don't talk about the radical. That's why he was assassinated, because he had become too radical. He also said that he was sorry because he had led his people into a burning bush in the civil rights movement. So let's look at the same thing is happening again. Black people went out in the groves and put Biden in. But if you ask Biden about reparation for black people, he said no. But he's given millions of dollars to the Ukrainian, millions of dollars to Afghanistan, and he refuses to even help the black farmers out. And let's just listen to this.
$1 billion for outreach and technical assistance, another $4 billion for debt.
I'm telling y'all, my soul is so disrespectful to this girl. And I'm telling y'all, she remind me of Coleslaw with the way she think. You know how Martell can tell Coleslaw anything and she believe it. Watch how he turned this around. This the same conversation about the Africa trip, and he telling her, quit thinking. You thinking too much.
I'm thinking if you've been reading the comments.
What comments?
I mean, you're not asking for approval, so you must have been reading the comments. So
first of all, you're messy. You're so messy because you post that picture of the guys' Atlanta trip. Reese in it. And Reese was like, I wasn't there.
Have you and Marsau ever been around Martell to see the feelings that he has for her?
No. Yes. Maurice wants to be this lawyer that answers questions on a technical basis. And it's
so this girl, right? This girl was so annoyed about this man going to Africa. He done turned it around and started talking about Maurice, and she done joined in it now. Now there's just times when sometimes you just can't overlook stuff, right? This is one of the times that she should have never overlooked anything. This trip. This conversation, she shouldn't have backed down. She shouldn't have overlooked anything. Details that seem major to one person might not seem major to you. So this was not a major detail to him, this Africa trip. No, it didn't mean anything. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, I went. Let's keep going.
No, because the question was, did you have interaction with her? Oh, no. I wasn't there having interactions. You were there.
But you know what we're not going to do? What? Because our girl wants to be relevant.
She can do it.
Did you see all the things she put back after you post that picture? All y'all cheaters. Every last one of them cheaters. You ain't got no drop of proof nowhere. A couple of years ago, it was male. But, and then, now, a girl is like, my friend, he was messing with my friend for years.
Now she's trying to talk about what Coleslaw said now. Coleslaw said that all of them was messing around. Y'all remember that? So she's trying, I mean, what happened? Do you not think that your husband was messing around in Africa? Did that ever cross your mind, Tisha, that this man may not been in Africa by himself, but he threw that his brother under the bus so he can get the heat off of him? There are some things that you just can't overlook. Yeah, he's going to play on her mental space now. He gonna spare her. And then he's saying things that cause her to forget her conversation about Africa. But y'all check how this man disrespect this girl.
Oh, and she's in love, so she's not gonna come forward.
But look at me, Tisha. Stop.
Okay.
What you're doing is exactly what you said you wouldn't do.
Okay, stop. Let me eat.
This is not going to be beneficial. I promise you. In the end, it's one of those times that we're sitting back and you're like, "Hey, why didn't you tell me to stop? Why didn't you tell me to stop?"
Sometimes action speaks louder than words. In other words, he telling her to shut up now. Now he got the heat off, that Africa heat off her, dealing with her emotionally. Now she talking too much because she trying to tell him about what Coleslaw said. The conversation that Coleslaw had about all them messing around, but she want to put it on Maurice. Wow. This indicate disrespect within your relationship. Or you trying to think of it as being an oversight. You want to overlook it. You want to overlook what's going on. Let's listen at this man.
But I'm trying to stop right now.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, no. So this what our girl said.
Babe.
She said,
listen.
Once I get 1,000.
Stop. I'm telling you to stop.
You have to listen to this.
I'm telling you to stop.
I'm stop.
Don't give them what they want. The second.
This is what old girl talking about Coleslaw. And she was just on it, man. She was trying to talk. She's trying to refer to his brother Maurice in the linebacker, and she's talking about Martell. He want her to stop. He telling her to shut up. He do not have no kind of communication with this girl. His conversation is even disrespectful. All right, he already bought it up. He bought it up about Maurice, and now he want her to shut the conversation up. Shut the hell up. Shut up, Tisha.
You start responding to what they said. They control you. I don't like what people say. I don't like the potential of the implications. I don't like the negativity behind it. But let me tell you something. Nobody calls you a dog and expects you not to bark. The worst thing you can do is when they call you a dog, bark.
They went out. Did he call that girl a dog? Did he call his wife a dog, y'all? But I remember that answer. She said, I didn't bark that long or something like that was her answer. But anyway, he's only thinking of himself. A good spouse who shows respect and value to his partner would be concerned about her feelings. This man sitting up telling this girl to shut up. In other words, referring to her as a dog. You know, what kind of analogy is that to use on your wife? Sometimes our partner may be only concerned about his well-being. He only concerned about his well-being. He's not concerned about her. His well-being when he was over there in Africa, I want you to shut up. Now he got her all talking about Africa and got her on to talking about coleslaw and Maurice and Martell. Yeah, but then he wanted her to shut up. Now since he done redirected the conversation, you shut up. Oh, wow. She's single, but she's unwillingly single. Your 15 years, your unwillingness single, and you are so disrespected, young lady. It's essential that you understand and notice that this is not a good marriage. Now, if your relationship feels like it's not equal in this way and you feel disrespected or taken granted of, it's time for things to change. Now, the way you run your household, you gotta pay all the bills, because they said a long time Tisha was taking care of this man. He wasn't working, right? You having a tough time. This girl having a tough time and got a husband now. She got all this responsibility on her with those children and working, she say. But the husband don't care. All he think about is himself. He don't even acknowledge her, y'all. Shut up, he said. Don't even want her to speak. He make her feel less than. Sure does. Feel like and then he always saying something derogatory to this girl. Hides a lot of things too, like, oh my God, what are you hiding? Why did you have to go to Africa? Then he treats her poorly. I'm just thinking about all the disrespectful thing that I see going on in this relationship. Yeah. And then he have inappropriate conversation on social media. Just shows lack of respect amongst thousands of people in front of you. No, young lady, you don't have a great marriage. Not to mention how he embarrassed you every day. How he wouldn't even, the Las Vegas trip. You went down there to do your marriage vows, and this man told you no in front of a national TV. Yeah, it's time to quit overlooking stuff, Tisha. You trying to talk about coleslaw, but y'all got a lot in common. So we'll continue on looking at this marriage. This marriage that this girl keeps saying, put some respect on my marriage. Tisha, I've got to say it again. You need to demand respect for your own marriage. Listen at this. This is the marriage vows.
Insinuate that we should be renewing our vows. Why is it so hard for everyone to understand that we are done?
We're in Vegas, so we know anything goes. And we're here to celebrate love and friendship. And we're here to celebrate our 15th year anniversary. Yes. So this group does a lot of love in here. So who knows? Anybody want to do any type of recommitment?
I don't know how this is happening. Like, I don't know if this is a test. Like, I bet you can't say no in public, but I think that I'm going to renew my commitment to say no. I'm not renewing my vows. That's what I'll renew.
This is an open opportunity here.
And this man was angry. He was so angry at his wife. And y'all should saw the anger on his face, but she was afraid to even ask him. She was like, if anybody want to renew their vows, anybody here want, this is about love. This man found out on the bus before they got there that this is supposed to be a vow renewal for himself. And instead of Tisha to look at her husband and commute to her husband, you know, this is what we're here for. She tried to, is anybody here want to renew their vow? But he is so pissed at her for even just taking it to that level. He's, oh, wow. Put some respect on my marriage, man. Respect your own marriage, Tisha. You need to move on.
Awkward. This is awkward.
So if anybody here that would like to...
And we were thinking it could be a commitment of anything. So you can recommit to working together peacefully. You is a general term that can fit. The shoe fits. So
who does it fit? It fits 15 years. We're here in Vegas.
Oh, no. We're
invited everyone to come celebrate. So today is the recommitment.
I like that, Tiffany. I feel that Tisha was just expressing her love for her husband. And I think that's amazing. I can only imagine if both of them felt like that, how amazing their marriage would be.
Yeah, that was some shade from Martell. Martell said, Tisha expressing her love for her marriage, but how amazing it would be if both of them felt like that. Even Martell know who he is in love with, and it's not Tisha. This man is punishing Tisha on national TV by embarrassing her and disrespecting her in the utmost. Whoa, let's keep it going. That's it, y'all. Ooh, was Tisha wrong to assume that her husband would commit those vows with her? Was marsau action wrong? Oh, boy. Tisha wanted some attention from her husband that night. That was their anniversary. That had been just the worstest anniversary I had ever witnessed. Wow. I don't know what to say. He refuses to show you love. He refuses to respect you, Tisha. It's hard to believe what I'm looking at. Do y'all saw what we just heard? This man refused to renew his vows. And then, I'm just going to put it out there. They say it may not be true, but they're saying they may not be married. And then he may feel like she's trying to trap him into getting married for real. But, that's just allegedly. He certainly don't appreciate his wife. He really don't. He showed no kind of appreciation for his wife. And then Tisha was sitting up there like she was so ashamed. I'm sure she felt ashamed with the way her husband was treating her. By the way, my soul is just selfish. We always concentrating on Martell, but this man is just selfish. He's selfish and disrespectful and hateful to his family.